I want a society that respects women and children, that values women and children. I want a society where women can walk any time of day, any day of the week, and not be afraid of being raped or harassed. I want a world that values mothering and mothers and children, because without them, you have no society. I want a sustainable culture so that my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren have a world that is clean and healthy to live in. And yes, dear. I'm Marion Dumont, and I've been here since the first day, although I'm not camping. I come down here as often as I can. I'm a registered nurse, and mostly my time is spent in the medic tent. I'm here because I feel that there's a great need in our society for justice and compassion and truth, and that can't be found in any of our institutions today, and I think that's undermining our society and our culture. And our judicial, our governmental, our educational,
business,
religious, medical, they're all lacking justice, compassion, and truth. They don't serve those three principles. And I think a movement like this, one of the primary purposes is to help bring to consciousness to the greater community, the greater society, that of the issues that are at hand, which are, monumental.
My name's Madeline. I don't really have a last name that I identify with. I'm here for a lot of similar reasons as to Marion, who's my mom. I think it's visible in our society that people are striving for something that isn't I don't know how to
Practical.
Isn't practical, isn't possible. We have role models that create a fantasy, yeah, and you can see it everywhere,
especially in the news.
And so you get the majority of the population trying to be something they never will be able to be, and people in power like it that way. And I have an issue with that. I think that the American dream is, in a way, it will never die, but I think that it's being redefined.
You think it's being redefined here?
I think it's being redefined across America, because people are realizing that they're working just as hard, if not harder, than the 1%, and they get less of everything. They get victimized and locked up and kicked out of their houses.
No access to health care.
Yeah.
I think maybe it would be good to go into what do you want, too, after talking about why are you here. And what, that could include what do you hope for, or what's your vision, or, could include what do you need if you're sick and you need something to be healthy, need something to change.
One of the biggest ones is that I feel like the American dad is disappearing. I'm a full-time student, and I look at my friends and myself and how hard women like me work, and I'm not generalizing to all men, but how men have been becoming scarce in the home. And I think that our young men need to they need role models that aren't CEOs. They need to know that working on a farm is okay. They need to be able to show emotion and not be treated like children for doing so. It's just one small want.
I'm Bethany. This is my first day here. I don't quite know what's happening yet. I mean, I know the bigger picture that big guys are getting all the money and little guys not getting anything. So, we're made to do all the work, all the dirty work. So I'm just sort of studying and observing and learning before I can make a full statement. So, yeah.
That's very wise, I think. Anyway, in my opinion.
Sure.
And are you both from Olympia or
We're from
nearby?
the Puget Sound area.
Puget Sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up
Gig Harbor.
in Gig Harbor, and we moved around.
Yeah, we moved around a little bit.
Lived in Berkeley for 5 years. Arizona. We're a cooperating multi-generational home.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing that here in Olympia?
We bought the house in,
About a year and a half.
about a year and a half.
Cool.
Yeah, it's turning out well. We have our own garden and goats
Yeah.
and chickens.
Nice.
We produce a lot of our own food. A little bit self-sustaining. If we can just get a well that's not electric, it will be good. But good.
Well, I think we've covered a little bit of the 3 questions in terms of what do you want, or why are you here, and who you are. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Like, what have you seen anything in camp that you like or that you dislike? What have the people been like?
I think the organization
It's finally getting.
Yeah. Well, from the beginning, I think it's been a lot more organized, at least from what I've heard, than some of the other occupied cities, or, occupied cities. I know I've heard a lot about, I'm not trying to, say anything bad about them, but in Seattle, I just hear a couple people saying that they need a little bit more organization, that, but it's good to have separate, medical tent, supply tent that's organized.
One of the things you mentioned, Mom, a couple weeks ago was that we've been to other rallies in support of different things through the years, and this is the first one that I haven't seen an opposing view anywhere, not in any of the news or personally, and none of my friends that have been to Occupy Tacoma and Seattle, which is really interesting, and the amount of support that's coming out from the communities, people that can't that can't come and camp but that want to help. I've just volunteering one day in the medical tent, and I think 4 people have come and asked what we need. Like 3 people have just brought bags of medical supplies, and $100 cash plus the $30 from the other individual. It's just, the outreach seems pretty amazing, and from all ages and from all ethnicities, and so it's really
Any Republicans?
unifying. You know, I didn't ask, but it's a possibility.
We're not carding.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable though.
I'm embarrassed. Bethany and Madeline. Okay, and Marion and Matilda.
And Matilda.
Okay.
Come here.
So Bethany and Madeline were talking about that all 4 of you live in a house, and so they were telling me a little bit about themselves and what they want, and so you could tell me a little bit more about yourself and what you want if you want to.
Okay. Well, I'm middle-aged, which is an interesting place to be. I'm a first-time grandmother, which has been an incredible joy, and we all live together. We live in a multi-generational household because really that's the only way you can live affordably these days, partly, and so we could pool our resources. I am a PhD candidate, so I'm working on my dissertation, and am currently unemployed. I've been teaching nursing for the last 7 years, and I lost my job in March. And it's been very difficult to find a new position because there isn't a high demand right now in the nursing field for educators. And I've chosen my PhD is in humanities and philosophy, not in healthcare. My area for my doctorate work is women's history, and partly why I'm doing that, I think writing history is one form of resistance to bring out those hidden and misrepresented stories. So I'm writing about women's history, particularly in the Northwest. What do I want? I want a society that respects women and children, that values women and children. I want a society where women can walk any time of day, any day of the week, and not be afraid of being raped or harassed. I want a world that values mothering and mothers and children, because without them you have no society. I want a sustainable culture so that my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren have a world that is clean and healthy to live in. And yes, dear. I want a sustainable civilization, and Western civilization is not sustainable. It's threatening all life on Earth, and that's part of what I'm working towards.
That's what she wants.
Hi, can you say hi to the camera? Can you say hi to Bird? That's Grandma. We talk a lot about issues at home. I mean, it's a very powerful household. There's a lot of female energy there, of course. It's all women. And we haven't come up with any solutions, but we certainly are working through what our impact is, how we can influence change, what can we do differently, where are we at risk, and how do we, survive as a family.
Maybe you're working on solutions.
Yeah, we are incrementally. And hoping to be able to share what we're learning together as a family with the greater community. And I think this movement partly is a ray of hope. It's a hope that people are waking up to the need for change. I think we need more live music. Were you the one playing violin the other night? Was that you? No, banjo? No, somebody. We saw somebody on the bench. It was pretty amazing.
Just joining the conversation.
What do you want?
It's like,
That's what I
you want to
want.
go fast?
I think that's good. That's a lot, and thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
You.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye.